Why are estate agents so bad at customer service? Today, I'm joined by Andrew Seldon, who is the new managing director of Belvoir, and he's here to talk to me about why estate agents are really bad at customer service. Andrew, talk to me.
I think the biggest problem with some of the estate agents we have in our industry is they're not invested in their job. For some of them, it's a stopgap. There's typically a younger demographic in the early 20s doing the role.
Kind of fell into estate agency like the rest of us.
Correct. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't what I was going to plan to do in life. And
What were you planning to do?
a Royal Marine, believe it or
All
not.
right.
Yeah, couldn't have been anything different. So I think there's a lot of patience required to make a success of the job. I think people have to get through some tough times in the learning curve with it, and good and bad property markets, which make you a good estate agent. Um, and we've had a very good market probably for 10,
A
10
bit more
years.
actually.
Yeah, maybe,
Maybe
yeah.
15
So
now.
yeah, post last recession, 2008, 2009. Um, and I think a lot of agents just hope it'll happen.
I mean, I'm quite outspoken on the internet when it comes to this, and I think a lot of them, it's just a case of whack it on Rightmove and see what happens.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're happy they do a quick match on their email system and it goes out and they hope that viewings come in. I think so many opportunities are missed.
Okay, so if there's like an estate agency boss out there that thinks, yeah, my service isn't brilliant, and I know we're going to be talking about pay in a separate video,
Yeah,
so we don't mind you touching on pay on this, but let's not go down that rabbit hole too much.
yeah.
But apart from pay, what can we do to put the fire in the belly of our team that customer service is important?
I think it comes from the top. If you've got a branch manager or an owner of a business or a senior figure in the business, they need to have a good level of energy. If they're upbeat, it's a vibrant environment. They're showing people how a deal can be done. Um, People do want to actually do well in life. They don't get out of bed to do a bad job or have a boring job. I think you can make it a lot more interesting. So it's the culture, I think, ultimately.
So really, it starts at the top.
Yeah,
I mean, you would have seen an awful lot of. You're an ex-corporate estate agent. Nothing wrong with that. And also, for the last year, you've been um, guiding and supporting lots of independent estate agents
yeah,
and employed estate agents.
yeah.
What am I trying to say? Is what does good look like in terms of boss's mindset?
I think positive mindset. I think they have to have good emotional intelligence. They need to understand their staff as much as they need to understand their buyers or their vendors or landlords, tenants, etc. Um, I think they need to remind themselves of the process that got them to where they are and how they did it, and maintain that to have a high performing team. Um, and simple things, morning meetings. Some businesses do it; they do them well, but it gets people firing on all cylinders. They know what they need to do. Other businesses don't do it, so people are just plodding along, hoping things happen. And you've got to chase the deals. I know we're in a good market. I know properties sell okay or very well. I know properties let really well, but there's so many missed opportunities that I see in estate agency.
I mean, you say we're in a good market, but we only sell, 1 in 2 or 54% of the homes we put on the market.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, a good market is, property coming to the market, it will sell. Yeah, I mean, I've had pipelines of 100 properties in one branch. That's probably representative of a good market, with new stock flowing through. The challenge, yeah, we have today, our stock is low. But when it comes to the market, there's probably in a lot of areas 3 to 4 buyers that'll be interested in it. However, not everything sells. Properties are overpriced. That could be the vendor driving it, could be the agent driving it. Um, and this is where I think you've got to act on your marketing.
So it starts at the top. If you were like talking to a branch manager, but you're not talking to them face to face, they're watching the screen. What actions can I do as a branch manager today or as a business owner that's going to help change my team's customer service? Because you say it starts at the top. What needs to start?
I think they need to explain what the business is trying to achieve,
That's
get,
the vision.
get people on board with it. Um, we work for our customers because we want to deliver this service, and you've got to demonstrate it. I worked for somebody who used to always tell me to walk the shop floor. Listen to the conversations, look at what people are doing, get them to listen to your conversations.
So actually get on the desk and make some calls.
Yeah, make the calls, lead by example. Um, have them shadowing you on appointments so they can understand, a client's perspective for having an estate agent. Um, employing somebody just to sit at their desk and answer the phone 24/7, so to speak, it isn't exciting. Getting out there and learning and seeing how you do it and being motivated by that is exciting.
What advice would you give to, say, a neg or a valuer who says, I'm not getting that from my boss. I want to do a better service.
Um, I think they can try and do that themselves, although I think that's quite hard if they've got somebody above them not allowing that. Basically, you need to go and find a business that does that for you. And I think if you're in that business, hang on to it.
Because there's a lot of rubbish out there, isn't there?
There is a lot of rubbish out there, and I've often seen people leave a role for £2,000 or £3,000 different a year. It doesn't help them. After tax, it's not a lot, and they're jumping ship. And really, if you've got a good environment and a good leader within that environment and good colleagues that you like, counts for a lot. It really does.
Yeah, people don't leave for a couple of grand. They leave because they're poor bosses, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. And if there are opportunities out there, go and find them. Do your research. Talk to other agents. We all know who's who on the high street. Start networking and making a name for yourself. And let it be known that you are interested in working for the right people. It doesn't have to be more money, but get the right people, the right fit. And that's key for me. If you're that neg, that's perhaps unhappy.
Thank you for your time today, Andrew.
Thank you.